Hey everybody, Greg from Park Journey. So we've been talking about doing a weekly update here on the site. Just to, a few minutes to just kind of talk about what's been going on the site this week. We actually had a really busy week this week. That's kind of just how it goes. We haven't really had an update for a couple of weeks, and this week we had, Disneyland, Magic Mountain, Knott's. We'll have an Epcot update next week. We'll have an update from the new slide at Busch Gardens Tampa next week. Probably some Six Flags Over Georgia stuff. It's opening weekend there. Something we've been talking about doing for a while, so we figured we'd go ahead and give it a shot. First, you can see, let me lean back. And we got a new office set up. For those of you who've watched our videos in the past, got some stuff up, some new stuff on the walls, new shelves. You can see I'm spinning some vinyl. I'm doing the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and there's a reason for that, and we're going to talk about that today. This view is actually going to be changing in the next couple months. We just found out we need to find a new place to live by June, so don't get used to this setup because it's going to be changing, but you can see some little trinkets there. We got the Herald up there on the speaker. We got the Christmas Story leg lamp. We got Doc Brown on a hoverboard. Got Groot over there. Down the bottom, we got Joe Montana. Sorry for anybody who's not a 49ers fan. And then, of course, we got to have Star Wars. Over here is the Winchester House Halloween, and then my favorite band ever, Rush. You can also see, I'll show you guys this too. It's actually kind of cool. Got little Rush bobbleheads on my desk too. So yeah, so been kind of updating my office over the last couple months. So I'm kind of disappointed that now I got to pack everything up. But anyway. It's just the way it goes sometimes, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the front page of the website and let's see what's going on. So up here at the top you can see here's all of our recent updates, and as you see we had 3 updates this week. We had our Disney California Adventure Food and Wine Festival, the Six Flags Magic Mountain update, and Knott's Berry Farm Boysenberry Festival preview. And we will be at the Boysenberry Festival next week, next Sunday, the 18th, to take in everything. Let's go ahead and start with some industry news, because there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of press releases that we sent out this week. So tomorrow is opening day for Six Flags Over Georgia. And they are doing Great American Scream Machine backwards and also the Alabama Scorcher. They're basically paying off a bet to Alabama Splash Adventure from the national championship game earlier this year. Or yeah, I guess it was earlier this year. Also, this is weekend 2 of the Busch Gardens Food and Wine Festival. So this weekend we got the Fray, Travis Tritt, the Outlaws, Marshall Tucker Band, Charlie Daniels. And they actually all these artists have actually been retweeting out our release on this. So it's actually kind of funny to see all of these, pretty famous, country stars sending out retweets of our theme park stuff, which is actually kind of funny. Kind of going back a little bit to last week, those of you who are in Southern California, the Nighttime Lights at Hogwarts is back. Started last weekend actually, and it goes all the way to weekends for now, and then 24th to 31st of this month is daily. So make sure that you check that out if you are in Southern California. Also, the Hello Kitty store opened yesterday, or the actual press reveal was yesterday, and Matt was out there, so we'll have some updates on that as well next week. So you can see all of the information on that on our industry news page. So let's go ahead and talk about the Disney California Adventure Food and Wine Festival. So as you know, we don't visit Disneyland too often. The last trip we were there was in October. And that was the day that the Flash Pass kind of exploded because of the Guardians of the Galaxy. They switched it over to the Monsters After Dark. So we didn't actually get a chance to ride that during our trip in October. I did actually get to ride it last weekend. I'll have some thoughts about that in a second. So we took a couple of pictures of Star Wars Land in the morning from Mickey and Friends. They are updating the Mickey and Friends structure, as you will see in the update. So the tram loading area is actually inside the structure now. And you actually go the opposite way on the tram road, which is, for those of us who have been going to Disneyland since they did the tram, it's actually kind of fun to go the opposite direction. It was an absolutely awesome day at the parks. It rained a couple times, maybe for about 10 minutes each. And to be honest, it kept the crowds pretty low all day. I don't think we saw a line all day that was more than an hour. We did do the Max Pass again, and it was flawless. We were able to do Haunted Mansion. We hadn't done Haunted Mansion non-holiday since probably 2011 because all of our visits had been during the holidays, so it was pretty awesome. Um, as far as the food and wine, it was spectacular. Um, we also were able to do Radiator Springs racers twice, so we used the Max Pass. We got Max Pass for Radiator Springs racers while we were still in Disneyland, which was really cool. And then we did it later in the day on single rider, which is funny because it said about a 90-minute wait. And as we were waiting for the single rider, the regular standby line looked no more than maybe 20 or 30 minutes. It was kind of weird. And then we also were able to do Soarin' Over the World for the first time. We did that twice, and we both absolutely loved it. I know that some people kind of aren't really fans of it, but we absolutely loved it. So let's kind of talk about some of the food at the Food and Wine Festival. Our first stop was the LA Style, where we tried the Korean barbecue beef short rib tacos and the teriyaki slider. And then my wife tried some Vanderpump thing. She's a fan of that. I didn't care for that at all. Not just because of the name, just because it didn't taste like sangria to me, to be honest with you. But anyway, the slider was really good. The tacos were good as well, but I think we were both more fans of the slider than the tacos on that one. The next stop was the cheese um, place over by kind of where the Hollywood and Dine used to be. Right outside there, they had a mimosa flight, and then they had this brie toast with fig mint and almond crumble. Now, this is one of those things where on the surface we were kind of like, we'll try it and just see how it is. It was amazing. So if you're going to Food and Wine, if you're asking one thing one weird thing to recommend, it's this because it was so good. We both enjoyed it. It was my wife's favorite thing, and I think it was my second favorite thing. So yeah, definitely try it out. We also tried out the white cheddar lager soup. It was really good. I just wish there was a little bit more of it. The hole they cut out in the bread bowl was not really that big, so there wasn't really a whole lot of soup. But it was good. The jalapeno popper mac and cheese was excellent. I think it was one of my favorite things. And the watermelon lemonade, it was really refreshing with all that spice from the jalapeno popper mac and cheese. So I definitely will recommend that as well. We also tried the frushi, or I did. My wife couldn't have it because she's allergic to coconut. And it was okay. It was interesting. The strawberry pie was great. The frosé was really great. The pepper guacamole burger, it was my favorite thing out of all of it. They need to make a big version of this and put it on a menu somewhere because it was really good. And the other thing was this oomph. We had no idea. I thought it was chicken, to be honest with you. I had no idea that it was a vegan thing. So until I actually tasted it, I thought it was chicken. But it was actually pretty good with what they had on it. So for those of you that are vegans or vegetarians, this is actually something for you. And it was pretty good. The macaron, the Meyer lemon macaron was absolutely excellent, and as well was the orange chicken and rice. It is very orangey, so if you're thinking like you want Panda Express orange chicken, this is not that. This is definitely, kicked up a little bit. And then we had the Meyer lemon ginger meal, which was absolutely fabulous as well. And then one of the last things we tried was this popcorn lemonade cocktail with tequila. It tasted like popcorn. It was absolutely as advertised. It was popcorn. I don't know why they had the whipped cream and the candy corn in there because it had ice and once you drank it, all of the whipped cream went down to ice, so you couldn't really drink it. But it was interesting. If you want to try something interesting, I would say go ahead and do it. So you could also see over on the site, we have our top fives, and then obviously what booth you can find them at. So Christie's top five was the brie toast, as we talked about, the Meyer lemon macaron, the avocado and pepper jack burger, the strawberry pie, and the cheddar lager soup. And then my top five, you'll notice some similarities here, was the avocado and pepper burger, the brie toast, the jalapeno pepper mac and cheese. I tend to like spicy things a little bit more than my wife does. The pineapple, raspberry, and strawberry mimosa flight, which I was actually shocked about. I'm not a huge mimosa fan, but they were all really good. And then the teriyaki chicken slider with the pineapple jam was all really good. So again, the food and wine was excellent. We're glad it's back. Hopefully, we'll be able to visit, every year now. In addition to that, they're still doing work on Pixar Pier, as you can see in the pictures here. We didn't actually walk over to the other side. We were too busy drinking and eating, but I did get some pictures from the other side of Paradise Bay. Or is it Pixar Bay now? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so they're working on that. And as I mentioned, we actually got to do Guardians of the Galaxy for the first time. Well, actually, I did. And I loved it. Now, I will say I actually found the story kind of hard to follow, so I don't know if the sound, I couldn't hear Rocket while I was on the ride that much, and I couldn't actually tell you what song was actually playing. But, I mean, it was fun. I loved the random drop sequences. I thought the effects were great. But there was just so much going on. I definitely think that that's why people ride it over and over again, because, there's so much to see. So I think, next visit we'll try to ride it a few times and things like that. Um, Once we head back over to Disneyland, we took a ride on the railroad, and you can see here some Star Wars Land pictures from the railroad, as well as from Critter Country. We got a few pictures as well that you can all see here. And then we just basically spent their evening at Disneyland. We had dinner, rode some rides, did Jungle Cruise and Tiki Room, just, the Disneyland classics. We just had a really great evening. And as I said, the park never really seemed overwhelmingly busy. It was really nice. So I don't know if the rain or if it was because of Saturday or blackout days, but it was definitely reminded us of Disneyland back in the late 90s, early 2000s, where you would get an off-season day, and it was great. So we had an absolutely fabulous time, and we can't wait to go back. The other update we had this week was from Wednesday. We had an update from Magic Mountain. One of the big things you'll notice, which caught our eye first, was the new parking lot. And this isn't just the slurry that they've been doing the last couple of years on it. This actually seemed like brand new parking lot, and then they're putting some more space where the lamps are. So I don't know if this is for the solar panels or they're just working on it. So we'll see what happens with these in the next days and months ahead. And then obviously we took some pictures of the new boardwalk area, which is looking nice and shiny and bright. The plot for Crazanity is coming along. I would imagine that the ride pad is going to be poured pretty soon. I did actually speak with somebody from the park and did get an opening month. I don't know if I can actually say what that is yet, but they're on track. I'll leave it at that. So we're really looking forward to having a great flat ride at the park. Also, the bumper cars are getting a full refurb. And there was a picture out on the Magic Mountain Twitter that showed the new bumper cars, and they look pretty sweet. So looking forward to that as well. And it's going to be like a brand new ride. It's really great. And then Jetstream is still closed and getting a pretty lengthy refurb as well. So yeah, lots going on at Magic Mountain. They're continuing to update all of the different areas and things like that, which is really nice. And then lastly, on Tuesday night, Scott and Buffy went out to the Boysenberry Festival tasting preview. And I'm going to say that the food this year looks amazing. Not only is there just a lot of the boysenberry stuff that you get at the park and all the different areas, but it seems like the boysenberry snacks that you can take home, there's a lot more of it. So a couple new things this year is the sugar-free boysenberry punch concentrate for those of you that can't have high fructose corn syrup or anything like that. There you go. So look forward to that starting next Friday. Actually, it starts on the 16th. We had some boysenberry rock candy sticks. The boysenberry cream soda is back. The boysenberry bark. The strawberry jelly mini pies, which look fantastic. And then to the actual new food, they have the boysenberry hummus and grilled pita, which I'm definitely looking forward to. I love hummus, I love pita, so I think that that's going to be good. The boysenberry quesadilla, I think it's gonna be like the ravioli last year. It's gonna be one of those interesting things. I'm really looking forward to trying it though. It's purple. I'll give it that. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. And then obviously the boysenberry pierogi. We love pierogies, so I think this is going to be really good. And then the elote. Uh, I love elote, so definitely looking forward to that one. And then some returning classics like the boysenberry chicken wings, the short ribs, the mini sausages, and then they also had a 2 foot long hot dog. And I think that's going to feed all of us. Boysenberry cake, which is amazing, funnel cake, which they always have. And then the other thing that really caught my eye was the boysenberry chocolate covered strawberries. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of chocolate covered strawberries, but I think having boysenberry and strawberry together with it, I think it's gonna be good. So we're looking forward to that one as well. And then the macaroons, churros, things like that. So again, the boysenberry. And there was also the boysenberry pie milkshake, and then the boysenberry boba tea. So again, the Boysenberry Festival starts next Friday, the 16th. As I mentioned, we will be there on the 18th to take all of that in, and we will obviously be posting to social media all day on that day, things like that. So as I mentioned, next week we will have an update from the Hello Kitty store at Universal Hollywood that just reopened. So we'll be putting that together over the weekend. We will have an update from the Flower Garden Festival at Epcot coming up next week as well. And then obviously whatever else comes up, I think we might have, we'll have the update from Busch Gardens from the new water slide at Busch Gardens. And then hopefully have a couple things from Six Flags over Georgia, their opening weekend for Great American Scream Machine Backwards and Alabama Scorcher. We were supposed to have, they were supposed to have a media day, I think it was yesterday, for Great American Scream Machine Backwards, and they pushed it back to, I think, middle of next week. So we'll have some stuff hopefully this weekend, and then we'll have the media day next week, which Randy is going to go to. So we'll hopefully have some good footage of that probably mid to late next week. All right, everybody. I just wanted to get you all caught up on what's going on in the world of Park Journey. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.